Hello, Darlings, and welcome to another Dragon Age Dreadwolf character prediction tarot reading. Yay! Okay. We are mages, we are free. We are mages, we are free. No half measures. Oh, snap. Okay, so remember that theory video from I don't know how many years ago about how Anders could survive? Because Anders is either alive, Anders could be completely dead, Anders could have been revived by Justice, so he didn't really die. Anders could be dead, but Justice continues in his body, like Justice continued in Kristoff's body, so then that would mean that Anders is decaying. And it's been a long time, so he wouldn't look too good. And either Anders, if Hawke was left in the Fade and Anders romanced Hawke, like he's gonna want to try to break into the Fade to get Hawke out or something. Like I can picture him like, no, I'm going into that Fade, like trying to figure out a way to get in there. There are different possibilities, but I see Anders, if alive, whether it's Anders and Justice, whether it's Justice or Anders, if alive, I see Anders at Weishaupt. Someone who would potentially, he is an apostate, he's on the run, he's rebellious, he's a bit of an anarchist of a mage there, but I could see him potentially at Weishaupt, and he's from the Anderfels, okay? Is Anders his real name? Because Anders is the name for the Anders people, the people of the Anderfels. And so maybe it's just, he never revealed his true name and everyone started calling him Anders, or he started referring to his Anders. So, or maybe that's actually his name, but he's from the Anderfels. So if not at Weishaupt, maybe from Hossberg or the surroundings, where like the marshes, the Hossberg marshes, so the wastelands. So I can see us encountering Anders in the Anderfels. Please, I want Anders in this story. I want Anders in this game. And I see him, I don't think he'd be an advisor. If we do have advisors from different locations, then perhaps, but I see him more as an ally. And because there are so many possibilities for Anders, I don't think they'd give him a bigger role because he's from Dragon Age 2 and, but I do see him as a potential ally. And he'd be a significant enough ally because he's a Grey Warden. He probably wants to find a cure for the Blight. He's an apostate. This is like he's a Grey Warden, apostate, mage. He represents so many entities in Thedas who want freedom or who want a resolution or who want a cure. So I see him as a significant ally, perhaps even a quest giver, hopefully not just an encounter cameo. Like the encounter camera, for example, Zevran in Dragon Age 2, it was fun, but it wasn't enough, so hopefully more than that. But at worst, at least that. So we are mages, we are free. So, no half measures for Anders. It's all or nothing. Go all in. In a game of against Varric, in a game of Wicked Grace, all in. So what do the cards have to say about Anders, his role in Dragon Age the Veilguard, and his relationship to Rook? And I've got these jumpers. Ooh, what a reversal. Ooh, the 9, another 9. Today, it's the day of 9s. The 9 of Chalices. We've gotten this card before a while back, and it's reversed. So there's the crystal ball, and so there's a ladybug on there. So that's interesting, because it's the foresight, and Anders is an abomination. He's got a spirit living inside of him. So in the Dragon Age Inquisition deck, the 9 of Cups is the behemoth. So reversed, overturned success. Is the success of what? Justice's success? Anders' success? What success has been overturned? Maybe a project Anders has been working on since Dragon Age 2. It's been a while. Poor choices, maybe from his past, becoming an abomination. Poor choices being influenced by Justice, who I suspect Justice is no longer Justice. Justice has become vengeance, as far as I can tell. We've had the proof. So Justice has become vengeance, and so Anders, if still alive, I mean, he's got a demon living inside of him. I mean, he's not the first person, he's not the last person. We know someone who has a demon living inside of them. But, maybe they'd get along. Maybe Anders would have some advice. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Suspicion. Well, I would be suspicious of Anders in a world state where I killed him. I have never killed him, but in a world state where he got killed by Hawke and then he's still alive, I'd be very suspicious. Is this really you, Anders? Is this vengeance? But maybe there's suspicion around him. Maybe he has suspicions in the Veilguard, perhaps, because, he left the circle for a reason. He's not the most, not that he's not trustworthy, he's not the most, and he is loyal, he's just not reliable for the Grey Warden. He doesn't stick around with the Grey Wardens. He's an apostate and goes off and does his own thing, So maybe he distrusts people, and that would garner distrust in him also. Suspicion. Disturbed tranquility. Well, if he's an apostate and he's gone off to live on his own, well, there would definitely be disturbed tranquility wherever he is, whatever he's doing, with the risen gods, and whether elven or old, and with the spreading blight and everything going on, and the Kunari invasion. So yeah, disturbed tranquility. Definitely with the spreading blight, if we encounter him in the Hossberg wastelands or somewhere around there, for sure. Selfish desires. Well, it would be selfish for Anders to want to pop into the Fade to save Hawke, or to go to Wastehawk to be with Hawke, or whatever else Anders might want to do. Selfish desires. It could also not be his own selfish desires. It could be vengeance. Vengeances. So, selfish desires. Self-indulgence. So the self-indulgence of the vengeance. That's where I see it. Sorrow. Well, yes. Even if Anders has not romanced Hawke, if Hawke is in the Fade, there would be sorrow. If Hawke is at Wastehawk, depending what Anders has been up to, there would be sorrow. Depending if he survived a stabbing, there would be sorrow. And if it's not him, if it's vengeance / justice, there would be sorrow for those who knew him. And with Varric, Varric knew Anders, there would be sorrow if anything happened to Anders, or anything going on, or if anything were to happen to Varric. Maker forbid. So I hope not, but there would be sorrow for Anders if that were the case. Irresponsibility. Well, he isn't the most reliable person because he's an apostate. He goes off, he does his own thing. So I can see the irresponsibility. Squandered future. So squandered because of justice / vengeance, or squandered because he died, in those world states. but squandered future perhaps also, I don't know. I was on to some, like, and then I lost it. Complacency. So does he become complacent with vengeance? You know, he just does what vengeance wants him to do. It's like he can't control vengeance anymore, so he just does the thing. Blind faith in vengeance, in the demon inside him. Blind faith in the Grey Wardens. Definitely not in the circle. Blind faith in the Veilguard. That went high pitched. Emotional blockages. Well, yes. No matter what happened to Hawke, emotional blockages make sense. He's lived through a lot. He lived in Kirkwall. Okay? Let's not that. It's a traumatic experience right there. So emotional blockages, he could cut himself off because he experienced sorrow, because of everything that he experienced. And maybe that's his way of controlling vengeance also. If he allows himself to feel fully, then the demon inside of him can manifest more. So he has to close himself up emotionally. Oh, that's sorrow. So that he has better control over the demon inside him. And that would require us helping him to gain his trust, potentially, to either free him of that demon. You know, if the Avar can have spirits inside them and then get rid of the spirits, there's got to be a way to free Anders of justice. But does Anders want that, you know? And foolishness. So, foolishness... yeah, maybe he's a bit foolhardy, you know. If he's, you know, if there's suspicion, poor choices, the self-indulgence, the irresponsibility. So there could be foolishness there. Maybe he's finds himself in a situation where he needs Rook's help to get himself out of there. So hopefully he's not trapped by that lyrium stuff. Yeah. It's not the worst reading for Anders, but it's not the best reading either. So, but we could turn it around. Like we could turn it around. We could help Anders. I really hope to see him in the game. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll see you all soon. Masaranas.